I don't think that the Lord and all of his disciples could have stopped the Lakers.
This team, this organization, this city, the Lakers are NBA champions once again.
Your drive is there to be the best.
The night and the championship belong to the Los Angeles Lakers.
You're now tuned in to the LakerSource Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your host, Rance G, with another edition of the LakerSource Podcast for Monday, June 19th, 2017. All the listeners, if you would, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at LakerSource, and I'll keep you up to date on everything that has to do with the Los Angeles Lakers. News, rumors, highlights, scores, and everything else in between. We are officially in Rumor Cane season. We are 3 days away from the 2017 NBA Draft, and rumors are going like crazy involving the Lakers. We've got stuff all day long coming out. We've got developments happening. It seems like every hour we've got a new development involving the Lakers. So we're going to get into some of that today. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about some of the trades that have already happened that will impact the draft or potentially could impact the Lakers. And we're definitely going to talk about Paul George. I know that I said in the last podcast, and I've said in the last couple videos that I've made, that I was going to try to stay away from Paul George because I really thought that it was going to, play out and he was going to play his contract out in Indiana, and then starting next summer it would heat back up again for the Lakers. That's not the case at all. As we saw today, Paul George told his agent that he's ready to leave Indiana. He will become a free agent in 2018 regardless of what happens, and he prefers the Los Angeles Lakers. So that was told to his agent told the Pacers that Saturday. And ever since then, the Pacers have been trying to make whatever moves they can. They're calling teams to try to deal Paul George now so they can get something for him before it's too late. And they want to just kind of move on from it and go ahead and get that situation taken care of. The thing that really, frustrates me or worries me, or I don't know, however you want to describe it, is that one of the first things reported on was that the Pacers actually contacted Cleveland to gauge their interest with Paul George. Now, I don't understand that at all. I don't know why the Pacers would call Cleveland. I mean, we already have what some people view as a problem with super teams in the NBA, and I know that Indiana maybe thinks that Kevin Love is a great trade option for them if they get him in return for Paul George. Maybe that's the case. But there's other people out there, there's other assets that are better for him than that. And why would you trade your best player to a division rival and to a team that you're going to play all the time and see all the time? I don't know why they'd want to do that. I don't know why they would want to help out a division rival like that. It's just weird to me. Part of me thinks it's a smokescreen to get a team like the Lakers, since his name was linked to the Lakers whenever he brought up to his agent to tell the Pacers that he's ready, to test free agency in the summer, next summer that is, and that he prefers going to the Lakers. So he's kind of trying to force their hand that he wants to be a Laker. So I think that, part of this is them trying to leverage the Lakers to make the Lakers give them a better deal by making it appear like Cleveland is a real option. I don't think that Paul George wants to play for Cleveland. I really don't. I don't think that he's a big LeBron fan, as you can see in their rivalries they had between the Heat and the Pacers and how chippy those series got. I don't think that Paul George would join the Cleveland Cavaliers willingly. And I think if the Cavaliers traded for him, I think there's still a chance that he could possibly, still come to the Lakers next summer. Now, that could change. If he does get traded to Cleveland and they are competing for a title, or they win the title, that changes everything, and Paul George could probably stay in Cleveland for however long the Lakers miss out on him. That's another reason why I'm so adamant about we need to go ahead and trade for him now. I don't really care what anybody says. Since we hold the leverage in that right now, I think that we should just do the deal right now. Get it over with. Get Paul George playing with this core right now that we're going to have. Get the chemistry going. Get a year, basically get a year in advance. Get the development going of what this team could be here in the next couple years. get them used to playing with each other. Let Paul George play with whoever the number 2 pick's going to be, because with it, whatever deal we do give Paul George, that second pick in the draft's not going to be included in it. No way, no chance in hell that trade happens. It's with the second pick at least. Players, sure, that's going to be involved, probably the 28th pick. And actually, another rumor that's going on right now is Ramona Shelbourne reported late last night, early this morning, however you want to look at it, that the Lakers right now are trying to acquire another lottery pick. So that would give the Lakers 3 first-round picks in this draft, and I think that they would probably offer that pick plus the 28th and maybe a Clarkson or something like that, and Dang or Mozgov or maybe Randall, Dang, and those picks, something like that. I don't think they're not going to get Ingram. They're not going to get Russell. They're not going to get the second pick. I don't think they would get a future first rounder. Maybe, who knows? It could work. You never know how these deals are going to play out. But I don't think the Lakers are going to give up that much, and I don't think they're going to gut the core. So it's going to be interesting to watch. I think that's probably part of the reason why the Lakers are trying to get another lottery pick, or they're just trying to get as many assets as they can for right now or for draft night or whatever to make some moves and improve the team. So with that being said, whoever the Lakers do pick at the second pick, as I was saying, it'd be nice to get Paul George there now, playing with them. So if it is Lonzo Ball, and if we are trading for Paul George, the number 2 pick will be Lonzo Ball. I'm confident in that. There's no reason to take Josh Jackson if you already have Paul George and Brandon Ingram. The reason I was so adamant about taking Josh Jackson before this is because we didn't know if we were getting Paul George. And if we don't trade for Paul George right now, or he gets traded to another contender, I probably would take Jackson because we need another wing defender like that. But if we are getting Paul George, then we got to take Lonzo. It's that simple. And get Lonzo and Paul George, Ingram, maybe Russell if he's still there, Randall if he's still there, Zubats, and whoever else we have add to the team, get them all playing together and get the chemistry going, and so we can actually start competing for it. It might not be for a championship next year, but with that team and a couple other key additions, role players and free agency, we could compete for an 8th or 7th seed, which is not bad considering what we've dealt with the last few years. And I think Lakers fans will be pretty happy with the fact that if we were able to make a playoff berth next year. So I think that's realistic, and I think we can make that happen with that trade. Another thing that happened over the weekend was that the first pick in the draft, so before we start talking about Lonzo Ball or the second pick or Paul George or anything like that, we need to talk about what happened with the Sixers and the Celtics. The Philadelphia 76ers have acquired the Boston Celtics' first pick in the draft for an exchange for multiple draft picks in the future. They are protected. I know that Boston will get the number 3 pick this year, possibly the Lakers pick next year, if it's between 2 and 5. So if it's first or 6th through 30th, Philly keeps the pick, and it becomes a 2019 first-round pick. But if it's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th, the Lakers pick, that is. If the Lakers pick 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th next year, Boston would get the pick. So that's even more incentive to improve now, because we don't want to suck again and become a lottery team, especially a top 5 lottery team, and our pick next year goes to the Celtics. That would be even worse than what we already are experiencing from the Steve Nash trade. So it's like the Steve Nash trade seems to be the nightmare that keeps on giving, or it's not really a gift. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to shake the draft up. Everybody still expects Markelle Fultz to go number 1, which is expected, and that's what I think the Lakers planned on anyways. There was rumors that Magic fell in love with Markelle Fultz and was actually trying to trade up to get him in the number 1 spot. The rumor was that we were offering the number 2 pick and Julius Randle to the Celtics to take that first pick. So I think it's safe to say that Julius is on the trade block, so you could see Julius throwing in a package for Paul George. That's very likely, honestly, if that happens, because the Lakers might not be sold on Julius Randle. He's, a lot of fans like him. He's a tough guy. He really doesn't back down from anybody, and that's what I like about him. He's versatile, he's quick, he's athletic for his size. He really needs a jump shot, and he really needs to work on his offhand and work on finishing near the rim. But he has potential, so I could see him being thrown in a package for Paul George or for somebody else. We don't know what Magic and Rob are up to. It's the first year we've had them, and we don't know what their tendencies are. We don't know what they're going to try to do. Are they going to be wheeling and dealing all week, all night, into the offseason? It's tough to tell right now. So I think it's safe to say that Julius Randle is available. I mean, I think that Magic has made it clear that Ingram's the only one that's not available. So all these other players, they could be thrown into a deal at any time for picks for another player. People have to realize the new regime didn't draft any of these guys. None of these guys are their guys, so to say. And especially with the rumblings and the rumors that, especially as far as D'Angelo Russell goes, that Luke Walton likes D'Angelo Russell. He just thinks he's immature and isn't a great point guard. And that's coming from a couple sources. But that really, I think, is another one of the reasons why the benching happened last year. I think he finds him immature. I think he's trying to get D'Angelo to become more mentally strong, be more serious when he plays, take getting better more serious. And I think that's part of the reason why they also moved D'Angelo to shooting guard a lot last year, and he thrived. He played well when he did it, and I think that's why, if we take Lonzo Ball and D'Angelo doesn't get traded, that's where D'Angelo will slide over, depending on if we get Paul George or how any of that works out. So that's interesting. So Fultz will go number 1 to Philly. Lakers have the second pick, depending on how the Paul George trade goes, or if the trade happens or not. The Lakers will take Lonzo Ball or Josh Jackson. It's going to be one of those two, unless a team comes and blows us away with an offer to trade up and to take a bad contract or give us future first-round picks as well as their current top 5 pick or, something like that. I know there was rumors that Phoenix was very interested in trading up and getting the Lakers' second pick. So that would give us the 4th pick in the draft plus whatever they would offer us for moving up. That could be a future first rounder. It could be Bledsoe. It could be taking on Dang or Mozgov's bad contract. There's no telling what that could be. I don't think it would be. They wouldn't add Booker. Booker's probably the untouchable player on that team, so that's not going to happen. So that trade could happen with the Phoenix Suns, where the Lakers move back to 4. Sacramento could trade up and really want, De'Aaron Fox or become sold on Lonzo or whatever they want to do, Josh Jackson maybe. And they trade up and take the Lakers' second pick, and the Lakers get the 5th pick and the 10th pick. A lot can happen over these next few days. I think we're going to get a lot clearer picture of what's going to happen by Thursday. I think that if the moves are going to be made, they're going to be made quickly because teams want to know where they're going to pick and start getting their game plan ready for Thursday night. And the rumors are that as far as Paul George goes, that the Indiana Pacers are trying to move quickly with that deal. And they want to get it done by Thursday night because if they're going to get picks this year, they need to start scouting people and game planning for where they're going to pick, who they're going to pick, and who they're going to possibly pick to replace Paul George. So it's going to be a lot going on this week. It's going to be crazy. I said on Twitter earlier that I think these next 3 or 4 days are going to be the most exciting for the Lakers in this whole offseason. Magic said many times that he doesn't expect the Lakers to be major players in free agency this year. I don't think we're going to go out and try to make a splash. If we're going to make a splash, it's going to be through the draft or through a trade. And that's going to happen probably during the draft. There's not going to be a trade, a month after the draft, I don't think, at least. If there's going to be trades for the Lakers that are going to give us significant upgrades or a star player or however you want to look at it, it's going to be here in the next few days. So that's exciting. I'll keep you guys up to date on all that. Just stay tuned in to the LakerSource on Twitter at LakerSource there's a very strong chance I do a video and a podcast every day this week. Actually, I can almost guarantee it. I'll at least do a rumors rundown. I'll do a shorter segment if I have to, depending on how many rumors and what different developments are going on. Plan on doing a mock draft this week, probably do the mock draft Wednesday night, maybe Wednesday during the day or Wednesday morning. Not sure yet. The main reason I'm holding off on that is because of all these rumors and trades and all this stuff that's going on. I want to try to get a good idea of where teams are going to be picking before I do a first-round mock draft. I'm not going to do a second round. I'll do a first-round mock draft, and I'd like to have a pretty good idea where each team's going to pick before I do it. I don't want to do one now and then there's 3 big trades where the Lakers move back, so-and-so moves up, picks are traded for players, whatever happens, and then my mock draft's pointless. So I'll do that here in the next couple days, so that'll be fun. Be interesting to see what I come up with on some picks. Another thing that we're going to want to take note of or watch this week is if the Lakers do make another trade for one of those third lottery pick and we don't get Paul George, who are we going to take? What are the 3 players that we are going to take in the draft at 2, at whatever the other pick is, and then at 28? So we'll have to do some scouting, see who fits into that third pick if we do get that, and really dig deep and see what we're looking at for a player in that regards. Back to the Paul George stuff, I really do think it really benefits the Lakers right now to do it, to get that deal done. I think it's not good to risk it. I don't think we need to wait another year and let 29 other GMs can try to convince Paul George on why the Lakers are a bad choice. I know a lot of people are confident, or I think they're arrogant and cocky about the fact that Paul George is a guaranteed thing in 2018. Yeah, it might seem that way if he stays on Indiana, but if he gets traded to another team, say the Celtics or the Cavaliers, or some team out west that's contending, the Spurs or something like that, there's a good chance that he stays with that team and decides to contend for a title right away for the next couple years, then go to LA and try to be the key spark in the rebuild and in the getting the Lakers back to prominence and getting the Lakers back competitive, competing for not just 8th seeds but for top 4 seeds and competing for conference championships and stuff. I think the Warriors have a pretty strong hold on what's going to happen in the West for the next few years, but I think here in 2 or 3 years the Lakers are going to have a big chance to make some noise. And right around that time, Paul George will still only be 31 years old, so he'll still have 3 or 4 elite years left in him. And I think that's whenever we can really make a move. And the Lakers getting that star is a big shift in the tide for other free agents. So if we can make this deal happen and also unload the Deng and Mozgov contracts, or one of them, it gives us more money to spend next summer when there's a really nice free agent class. And we could make some noise there too. So we could still keep a couple, 3-4 key members of the young core, maybe even 5 members. I mean, if you factor in the new draft picks this year, Nance, Randall, Zubats, Clarkson, Ingram, Russell, whatever combination of those players, add those to Paul George and another star, we'll be set. We'll be ready to go. It's an exciting time to be a Lakers fan, especially with all these moves, and this is going to be the real fun time for the off season. Is going to be these next few days. Just looking through some rumors right now, what some experts are saying. They said don't be so quick to throw Julius Randle or D'Angelo Russell in a trade package for Paul George, seeing it is that they have the same agent. So the agent might be, trying to posture to where they all stay in LA, because the agent, his got his own business interests in mind as well. So he might be trying to posture a way to get his 3 clients all on the same team there on the Lakers. So maybe they won't trade them, maybe they will. Tough to say. Eric Pincus actually just tweeted just a few minutes ago and said, and is tweeting about the Lakers and Paul George, and he says the only way Lakers get George is a massive push by his agent. So as I'm talking about this with his agent, he literally picked that up Lyle Spencer says Randall or Nance, Zubac stays, too much potential. Randall, Clarkson should be enough. It's a negotiation. If they don't pay a fair price, they might lose him. He could like winning with LeBron or another good team. And then Eric Pincus is going back and forth with Lyle Spencer, and Eric Pincus says the only way the Lakers get George is a massive push by his agent. So that's something to watch and to see how, the agent plays a factor into this whole big trade with the Lakers. So if we're Lakers fans, we all should be hoping that Paul George and Julius Randle and D'Angelo Russell's agent is pushing for this trade to happen. I think it's going to be really cool over these next few days to watch and see exactly what's going to happen. I don't want to talk about the Celtics too much, but I also did see earlier today that the Celtics are trying to get Anthony Davis. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but they sure are. I can't blame them for swinging for the fences. They've stacked up and piled up enough picks the next few years that they can offer several picks and try to get somebody like Anthony Davis. I wish the Lakers could do that. Hopefully, over the next couple years under new leadership, we can get there and be able to build up a bunch of assets like that. I know we have different young players that we could look at as assets and maybe trade them for other players or trade them for other picks, and I think it's safe to say that having the young players that we have that are very solid players, that that's as good as having a first-round pick, especially if they've already been in the league for a couple years and shown promise. The teams don't have to go through the grooming period of getting a guy used to playing in the league or whatever, So I think the best thing the Lakers can do is just kind of really pay attention to what's going on with the Cleveland situation, really keep their ear to the ground on all the different moves that the Pacers could potentially make with Paul George, and I think that Magic Johnson, if he catches wind that one of these teams is getting really serious about getting Paul George, I think he'll jump in that point. And I think that there's already been a couple NBA execs say that they expect the Lakers to, quote, parachute in on a deal if Paul George to, whatever team becomes really serious. And actually, that's whenever you might see Magic cough up a little bit more to make that deal happen. But I think the Lakers hold the leverage right now. It's going to be something to pay attention to, especially over these next few days leading up to the draft. And if we get another pick by trading, I don't know who we could trade. Trade maybe D'Angelo, Julius, or Clarkson for whoever. Get another lottery pick in the top 14. Then at that point, maybe we could package two first-rounders and another player or whatever for Paul George, and I think that's realistic. And even if not, I mentioned earlier, these players weren't drafted by this regime, so somebody like D'Angelo Russell, who maybe Magic and Luke Walton aren't sold on, at least in their system or whatever, they could trade him to another team that's in the top 10 and get another pick. So even if we don't get Paul George, we can just, stack another young player that fits what they want more out of a player, whether it's a point guard or a wing player or a power forward or a center or whatever it is. So we're going to have to keep our ears to the ground and see exactly what the Lakers are going to do over these next few days, and I'm going to keep you guys informed on that. I want to thank you for tuning in today. That about wraps it up. I'll let you guys know if there's been any updates. Follow me on Twitter at LakerSource. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video. If you got any comments or you're hearing any rumors, shoot me a tweet, shoot me a DM, shoot me a comment here on this video, and I'll look into it and I'll discuss it and share it, and I'll give you guys credit. If you give me some reliable information, I'll definitely give you a shout out. We're closing in on 5,000 followers on LakerSource. I want to get that number up to, 500,000. But I want to thank everybody that's followed me so far, and I've been telling everyone that I've got a contest going on, that as soon as I get 5,000 followers on Twitter, I'm going to have a Lakers grab bag giveaway. I got some really cool Lakers gear, a little swag, and some cool stuff for a lucky person that's following me. So if you guys want to help me out and have a chance at winning the cool Lakers grab bag to make your draft week even better, share my tweets if you would. Ask one friend to follow my page as well. If you ask one friend to follow my page as well, I'll get up to 10,000 followers, and I'll really start doing some really awesome giveaways at that point. But I want to thank you for everybody that's already following me. I'll keep you guys informed. I'll do what I can. Until next time, love y'all. Peace.